welcome once more to the Phil Taylor Jones Show. We're going to be taking another, excursion, a very bumpy one, talking about the craziness that is our American politics and the nutty stuff that's going on therein. I'm Phil Taylor Jones, your host, and we're going to be taking a very close look at about 3 or 4 subjects today, so we hope you enjoy the show. First of all, looking at a couple of political-based programs on telly last night, they kept harping on the fact that Donald Trump is not qualified to be president, and how qualified Slithery Clinton is. And I'd have to agree with that. Phil, what are you talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Donald Trump is not qualified to be president under the guise of what we've had as presidents in, say, the past 30 years. He's not qualified. He's not qualified to screw up the country. He's not qualified to go over and make shoddy deals. He's not qualified to let any and everything in the country to further its destruction. He's not qualified to snuzzle up to the special interest groups and the lobbyists and the power brokers. He's not qualified to be a mamby-pamby that bows to the whims of every creep and lunatic that should cross his path. No, he's not qualified to be a president like the ones we've had in the past 30 years. Slithery Clinton, on the other hand, is very qualified. And we know why. Donald is making quite a stir in the political world, and that's a good thing. It's even spilled over into other countries. The Philippines' newly elected president is now called Trump-esque, because the guy comes in there and he's not taking any crap. He's not letting these little criminals go unpunished. If you do something heinous in that country, death penalty. He's not taking no crap. So he is Trump-esque. A lot of foreign countries, Great Britain, one of them, a lot of the people that are against all of these foreigners coming into their country and potentially causing mayhem, they're wishing that their own, what is that guy's name? I know. Cameron, David Cameron, is it?
I think so.
Cameron, whatever his name is. They were wishing that he was more Trump-esque. See, a lot of people are understanding that to give away your country, to give away your native sons and daughters' birthright is not a good thing. That's not who they are. And it's definitely not who we are. And people are understanding that. So, you naysayers out there, you can whine and you can complain and you can try to throw nasty things at the Trump man and you can try to put things on the track to derail the Trump train, but it's not going to work because the Trump train is rolling through. The American people, the real patriots of this country, have spoken. They have chosen their candidate. So, no need to write in Rafael Cruz or Jeb Bush or any of these other idiots because the people have spoken. Now, I'm one of those people that stands firmly with the Trump man. Because if not him, who? Slithery? And just to think about it, a possible 8 years of Slithery Clinton. Yeah. Oh God, that left a bad taste in my mouth. Anyway, think of the way the country is now, and then think of it the way it would possibly be if she got in there. As I've said so many times, Slithery Clinton, as I call her, but Hillary Rodham Clinton is the doomsday device and should be nowhere near any kind of house, let alone the White House. We need Donald Trump to come in there and set things straight. And we know that he can do it. Now, you might say, well, Phil, you really are adamant about, changing this government. Yes, you bet I am. And I'll tell you why. As you all know, I live here in California, with greater specificity, Los Angeles. Now, we have a Democratic governor, Governor Moonbeam, I call him. A lot of people know him as Jerry Brown. Total airhead, total idiot. He's the one that was at the forefront of getting this AB 60 passed, and that, as you know, is the illegal immigrant driver's license. Okay, subsequently it did pass, and the numbers are staggering. They're saying by 8 years we could end up with upwards of let me see here. 696,000 have already been issued, with a possible 1,293,000 by the year 2018. This is ridiculous. Now, you might say, well, that's not news, Phil. You know, that's been out for a while. Okay, here's the real rub. Some while ago, in the not too distant past, if you will allow me, I'll read on a little bit. There was this mom of two, Southern California mom of two, Jennifer Brawley. She'd just been rear-ended by a truck driver near Rancho Cucamonga and was preparing for the post-accident ritual of exchanging insurance information, what have you. The driver handed Ms. Brawley his cell phone. Now, this bastard couldn't even speak English. He had to get a friend on the cell phone to explain to her that he had no insurance coverage. Okay, he's got the license because old Moonbeam made sure of that. He's got no insurance. Here's the rub, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're sitting real comfortably, because I don't want you to fall and injure something at this. The police officers came to the scene and determined the driver had a valid driver's license and sent him on his way. Miss Brawley, grateful to be unhurt, was nonetheless left with a feeling that something was kind of wrong here. In a push to grant illegal immigrants driver's licenses, Californians had been assured that doing so would spur them to get safety training and insurance coverage. Nearly a year and a half later, there is no evidence that it worked. Now, I know pretty much how law enforcement works around the country. I, would gather that in every state, when a cop pulls you over, he's going to want to ask for three things, or she's going to want to ask for three things. Your driver's license, the registration of the vehicle, and proof of insurance. So, with this police officer arriving on scene and checking his driver's license against the database and finds out that indeed it was legal and sends him on his way, it sets up a double standard, a we-they sort of situation. Because if you or I were pulled over or at the scene of an accident, yeah, the officer's going to check the driver's license. He's going to check the registration of the vehicle and to see if we have insurance, not just send us on our way. So there's no wonder there's such distress and anger in this country, because not only are the bastards coming over here illegally, they're being given perks, and then they're being given leeway to further break the law. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I've got some other stuff, but I went down this article a little further, and something blew my mind. Oh, here it is right here. It says, now, if licensed legal immigrants want to buy insurance, and again, I hope you're sitting down because I don't want you to fall and hurt your head. Sit down, sit and get comfortable. If these illegals are, want to buy auto insurance, the state provides a low-cost option. Kick in the butt number 3. The California Department of Insurance markets the state-sponsored low-cost auto insurance program for low-income earners through Spanish language media. Plans provide minimal liability coverage with annual premiums, and really put a pillow behind your head on this one, as low as $241 per year. This coverage is less than what is mandated for other drivers, meaning us legal citizens born here, who purchase policies through private insurance companies paying statewide average of just below $2,000 a year. Can you believe this? And the government, our government, that's supposed to be protecting and helping us, are just waving and clapping them on. And you say we don't need Donald Trump. That people like O'Bastard and Slithery Clinton and governors like this stupid moonbeam that we have here, Jerry Brown, are the way? Are you kidding me? This is just totally nuts. Thank goodness this mother, one, didn't have her children with her in the car, and 2, she wasn't hurt. But she was left with insurmountable auto repairs, if her car can be repaired, because the article didn't mention what kind of a truck this guy was, but was driving or was in. Obviously, maybe it wasn't a large big rig. Maybe it was a pickup truck, or maybe a little bobtail truck or something like that. But thankfully, she wasn't hurt. But this article is going to be put at the information for the show, so that you can go and read it in its entirety. It is an eye-opener. It is crazy. It is ludicrous that American citizens are held to a higher standard, while these people that are, number one, already illegal as hell, can come in, be given perks, and move on down the line as though nothing is wrong with that. Yes, we need a president that's going to get in there and stop this crap. Like I said, whose America is this anyway? And 2, how big do you think this rock is that you can keep having these people just come in here willy-nilly and screw us over? They're not here for any good purpose. True. Now, some of them may have gone out and purchased auto insurance. Okay, cool, wonderful. But what about all those that didn't? Upwards of 90,000 or more didn't this year. And that's down from 112,000 last year. And then each year, we're still talking about upwards of 100,000 people out there that are uninsured, just barely have a driver's license, probably don't even know how to drive. Thinking back to that bastard that hit me. He had insurance, this is true, but I would bet you dollars to donuts that she didn't even have enough driving experience under her belt to drive a Hot Wheel car, let alone a real one on the streets of Los Angeles. A bastard, and plowed right into me and tore up my beloved Ford Explorer. Anyway, enough on that cross. Let me get to another cross. Now, going to New York. We're leaving the West Coast and heading over to the East Coast. Remember back in, let me just get this up here. Back in 2011, or was it, no, it was 2010. This Muzzy named Sharif El-Gamal, businessman, mogul. Ain't that a crock of crap? He was proposing to build a mosque right near on the site of, let me get my facts straight here. I don't want to misspeak about the dear Muzzy. He owned some property near Ground Zero and wanted to erect a big mosque there. Now, as per their law and their friendly religion that is so friendly it'll kill you, When you conquer or, take over a city or what have you, make a big splash there, then you erect a mosque to totally obliterate any Christianity there. Everybody becomes now Islamic, and that's a slap in the face to everybody else there. That's their way of doing things. Well, the Patriots wouldn't hear of it. And they actually got out there and they shouted him down and he abandoned the idea. Well, guess what? He's back. This bastard now has, let me get it here. He has come back with his plan to erect a $174 million project which features a 3-story Islamic cultural museum at 51 Park Place, and the 48 high-end residential condos in a 43-story tower at 45 Park Place in the financial district. Now, this financing is Sharia compliant, which means the deal complies with the complex Islamic laws that govern lending and borrowing, including a prohibition against accepting interest or fees for loans. So, it's crazy, people. It's really nuts the way our government, again, that's supposed to care for our needs and care for what we want to do in this country, our entrepreneurial endeavors, is so quick and so free-handedly giving these foreigners a way up. This guy, and there is a picture of him, during the show here, doesn't look to me like somebody I'd want to do business with. Very shifty looking. He's building this tower with these 48 high-end residential condos. Now, who's going to occupy those? Americans? Maybe. His own kind? Surely. That's their modus operandi. Whenever they construct something, whenever they have anything to do with something, their own get carte blanche. They get first pick. Count on it. Count on it. And who will be these muzzies? Will they be other businessmen like him? Possibly. Maybe. Could they be ISIS? Quite probably, assuredly. This guy makes bukus of money. And guess what he does with probably most of it? He sends it over to ISIS. I doubt that he's a very upstanding businessman. Maybe he is, I don't know. But like I said, past practice dictates that they come over here, they make all of these big bundles of money, and what do? They send it back to their own country to make their country or to make their causes good and fat. Again, while our government claps and waves them on. Ridiculous. Totally, without a doubt, ridiculous. Now, my third bullet. This has to do with Michael O'Bastard. Oh, excuse me, Michelle. Little Freudian slip. Okay, she's going around now making big labels about the nutritional values of foods we eat. She's going around demonizing sugar. Oh, sugar is some of the worst thing you can put in your mouth. She's agreeing with the WHO, the World Health Organization. She's agreeing with this about diabetes. And don't get me wrong, folks. I am not trying to impugn or make fun of or make light of those citizens out there who have this dreaded disease. Diabetes is a very dreaded disease, and I'm hoping every day they can find a real cure for it, because it's horrible. I've known people that have had this horrible disease. What I'm making fun of and what I don't like is how they what's that word I'm looking for? They exploit it. You can't look at telly. You can't listen to the radio. You can't look at food without, that's diabetes. You're going to get diabetes. If you take more than 3 grains of sugar, oh, you're going to get diabetes. You know, they have, by the advertisement on telly, made this the #1 killer in the world, diabetes. You know, they got people punching their fingers so much so that the people are getting gangrene in their fingers and getting them chopped off from punching them, trying to find out how much sugar. You know, it's ludicrous. Too much of anything is bad for you. You can drink too much water and it can be bad for you. This is true. But for her to come on and, excuse me there, technology is telling me of something. But for her to come on and just, you know, turn everything around her way and to make it look like she's doing something so good for the country is ridiculous. She couldn't give a tinker's damn about what you're doing. And who is she to talk with her wide ass? You ever see her going up the stairs to Air Force One? She can barely get that jug ass through the door. So who are you to tell anybody how much sugar to eat, you bastard? God! Why aren't you over there banging the tom-tom over in Flint, Michigan to get people some decent water to drink? Where are you then, Michael, or excuse me, / Michelle O'Bastard? Where are you then with your bucket ass? People are actually literally dying over there. Long-term effect, we don't know because they're drinking poisonous, tainted water. Where were you? Your scroungy, dried-up husband just went over there almost 2 years after the fact. But you can get a little, oh, we got to exercise, get it moving, get moving, start dancing, yeah, don't eat sugar. But people are dying of poisonous water and you sit on your fat ass at the White House, you bastard. Don't tell me how much sugar I can eat. And I don't need you making ginormous labels on the back of food with the calorie or the caloric content as big as King Kong's foot. The people I know, I go to the store all the time. They're not looking at any damn labels. They're looking at the prices to see if they can afford the crap when they get it to the checkout counter. So instead of raising the caloric content, why don't you work on lowering the prices? You luciferous bag of crap. Oh boy, you and your stupid husband, your days are numbered, and I will be glad to see your bucket ass and his narrow ass going that way forever in a dark day, because you've done nothing but just screw up the country. Yes, we need Donald Trump. We need him now more than ever. And forget the dumb naysayers. They will have you believe everything bad about this man because they don't want him in there. But you know what? Your game is tired. Your game is weak. Because who have you got? You've either got him or you got Slithery. Grandpa Sanders, try as hard as he may, I don't believe he's going to get it because there's too much crookedness there. So you got Slithery or Donald. Do you want Slithery Clinton? If you do, you're a total dumbass. Donald Trump is the only alternative. I believe he will get in there and make some stirs. Stop some of this madness. Shut the door. Close the damn border. We don't need any more of you over here. And before we close out, the exec has got something very, very profound to share with us. Exec, you're on, buddy.
Well, thank you. And to dovetail into the America, well, not America because it's the government doing it. We aren't doing bad stuff by helping other people other than ourselves. That's the government doing that, so my mistake. To dovetail into your government helping foreigners rather than Americans, here's some news bite for you, and it's concerning veterans. So before I start that off, I'd like to say on behalf of the host and myself, a very happy Armed Forces Day. Thank you to all of our Armed Force personnel that help save our country and protect us, every day, and the ones that have retired as well. But concerning that, Obama, and this is a news bite that was gotten from Google Plus from a friend and follower of their show named Travis Trantham. So we thank you for posting that.
Thanks, Travis. Thanks, buddy.
It concerns Obama cuts $2.6 billion from U.S. veterans and gives $4.5 billion to Syrians instead. The Veteran Affairs is one of the most mismanaged government programs in the United States. Veterans cannot make appointments. The cost for treatment is outrageous. Over 307,000 veterans died waiting for care, yet nobody has been held accountable. The most recent atrocity by the VA came when the VA went to Congress less than 3 months before the end of the fiscal year, short $2.6 billion in funds in order to care for the veterans. Secretary of Veteran Affairs Robert McDonald told Congress if they do not receive $2.6 billion more in funds, they will have to deny veterans the care they deserve. The VA has been known to delay doctor appointments, especially in the past 7 years. Robert McDonald has only been Secretary of Veteran Affairs for the past year, yet he has already done some horrific things. What you're seeing is a sea of change in the way VA operates. Obviously, that motion is going in the wrong direction. Historically, they've managed to budget instead of managing requirements based on veterans' needs. But here's the kicker right here. After discussing the possibility of closing some of the VA hospitals, Congress passed an emergency spending bill worth $3.5 billion. Josh Earnest, however, White House spokesman, said the United States has committed to spend $4.5 billion in order to help rebuild Syria, while also addressing the refugee camps scattered throughout Europe. $419 million will be designated for humanitarian aid, assisting with Syrian refugees. This money is coming from the United States Agency for International Development, which means that Congress will not get the chance to deny the funding. So they're more concerned about helping the Syrians out and making sure nobody can block that than they are with helping the veterans that are protecting us from the Syrians. Talk about having your priorities screwed over or screwed up. This is ridiculous, the way that we don't look after our own kind anymore. While thousands of veterans are dying, waiting for medical care, and even more are living on the streets, the United States is sending over several $1 billion to help other countries. The United States can't even take care of those who protect its freedom, yet the that's what we call them sometimes, the Obama administration, the bastard administration doesn't seem to care or notice. It's crazy what's going on with this stuff. There's a few comments. Maxine Adkins, give credit to her for the last comment. I kind of wanted to read this. It's very profound. Leave it up to our so-called great leaders to screw the United States of America and the citizens that makes it a great country. I'm not talking about the illegals and all the rest that gets so damn much attention from our fine government, and the hell to the rest of us, with the rest of us. Maybe we should go to their country, since they have probably destroyed it and on the verge of destroying what the government doesn't over here. I'm sorry for how our government treats our nation's veterans, and we at the show are sorry about that as well. It's a travesty to treat them like that and deny them help. A lot of people could die because of this, but they're making sure Syrians live and thrive, and they're the threat. Yeah, that's about all I got.
Well, yeah, that's a lot to have. I too shudder to think of how this nation would prosper under a Clinton administration. She wants to ensure that we have a third and fourth bastard.
4 more years.
Yeah, she wants to ensure that. And how anybody could get behind her. You may not like Donald Trump, this is true, but how you could get behind 4 more years, possibly 8 more years, for a total of 16 years of an bastard regime, it is beyond me. You must be brain dead, and for all of this stuff to come out, he's not qualified. I'm glad he's not qualified to be the kind of president that we've had in this recent past 8 years. I'm glad he's not qualified for that, because we've had more than enough of it. It has destroyed us. It is now who we are, a destroyed nation under a lunatic that shouldn't have ever been elected president in the first place. It just boggles the mind. So let's get behind the Trump man. All of you Trump supporters out there, all of you true patriots, let's get behind him. Let's make sure that he gets to that White House, because if he doesn't, kablam, this world will cease to exist, or this nation will, as we know it. You know, something's got to give. All of these, this is overrunning of these damn foreigners. Every kind of program that you think you could ever want, you could have if you let these damn people stay in their own damn country. Why do you feel you need them over here? Especially those that you know are capable of hurting us, killing us. Hell, we're getting run over by these regular ones that you let in here, giving them driver's licenses and giving them low-cost housing, while the rest of us are scratching and scuffling trying to survive. I mean, what the hell is going on in your brain? You can't eat sugar. You can't eat bacon. This stupid, supposed to be first lady. What, are you angry? Are you and your stupid husband because everybody isn't eating halal? Well, screw you. We'll eat cookies. We'll eat sugar till it runs out of our bloody ears. And if you don't like it, let me see. What can you do? Go die. And hopefully sugar will form around your carcass. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, for this edition. You know, we got to get Donald Trump in there because these foreigners are killing us, literally. If they're not actually chopping our heads off and blowing us away, blowing up our beautiful buildings, they're killing us by running us over, doing hit and runs, or running us over with trucks and cars, no insurance. They're screwing us, you know, on every turn, right along with the federal government that allows them to do that. So let's, you know, get ourselves together and get us a president that cares about us, that wants to put Americans first. And to any of you idiots out there that don't like Americans being first, then why don't you go to the airport and get a ticket out of here to some other country, because it's gonna be Americans first in our own damn country. On that score, try to remain happy and joyful, and if you'd like to subscribe to us, the button is right there. And if you wish to make a comment or what have you, we're happy to have you do that. We care about you, and we want you to know that we're always going to be here for you to give you commonsensical type view of what we feel about things that are going on in our country. And believe me, things ain't right. So come back and see us again on the next edition of the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.